The families of Camp Pendleton Marines killed in an Osprey crash in 2022 filed a wrongful death lawsuit today in San Diego federal court. Good evening, I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The lawsuit targets the manufacturers of the Osprey, not the Marine Corps. CBS 8's David Goffredson talked to the wife of one of the 5 U.S. Marines killed in that crash near Glamis.
We're living with this fear hanging over us that this could happen to another family.
Amber Sachs's husband, John, was one of 5 Camp Pendleton Marines killed 2 years ago when their Osprey helicopter crashed in the desert near Glamis during routine training.
This was an ordinary, normal Wednesday. I kissed him in the morning and said goodbye as I normally do. I had packed him snacks the night before. It was just an ordinary day. I wasn't worried.
Killed in the crash, Amber's husband, Captain John Sachs, Captain Nicholas Losapio, Corporal Nathan Carlson, Corporal Seth Rasmussen, and Lance Corporal Evan Strickland.
And that night, I had already put our oldest daughter to bed. I was pregnant with our second, and I heard a knock on our front door, and I opened it, and there were 4 Marines and 1 Navy chaplain standing there, and that's when I knew that they were coming to tell me.
Now, the families of 4 of those Marines have filed a wrongful death lawsuit in San Diego federal court, alleging deceptive practices and systemic failures by the manufacturers of the Osprey, Bell Textron, Boeing, and Rolls-Royce.
We're alleging that what caused the crash of Swift 11 was a mechanical failure.
Los Angeles attorney Tim Loringer represents the families. A military investigation found the cause of the crash was clutch failure, but the root cause of the clutch problem remains unknown.
We've had 2 crashes since Swift 11, Japan, and also Australia. To the extent that those might have a common thread, we don't know yet, but that is too many.
The manufacturers told CBS 8 they cannot comment on pending litigation. Plaintiffs are seeking unspecified monetary damages, but Amber says she's not interested in seeing the Osprey grounded.
We love the Osprey. We're an Osprey family. John loved to fly the Osprey. And I want to be able to take my kids to air show someday and still see them flying and say, that's what your father flew. However, I want them to be safe.
The Marines now require that Osprey clutch assemblies be replaced after 800 flight hours. The Osprey that crashed near Glamis reportedly had more than 2,000 flight hours on the clutch assemblies. At the federal courthouse, David Goffredson, CBS 8.
Thank you, David. A man convicted of assaulting a CHP officer has been sentenced to 2 years probation. Back in April of 2023, Jose Murillo approached the officer during a traffic stop on the 805 while carrying a knife. He was shot after he refused orders to drop the knife. The officer was not injured.
Tonight, we are hearing new details from the moments Ali Abulaban says he walked into his downtown San Diego apartment and shot and killed his estranged wife and her friend.
It was his 3rd day on the witness stand, with the defense claiming the killings were a, quote, crime of passion. Steve Price was in the courtroom as Abulaban was questioned by prosecutors.
A tense and emotionally draining day of testimony. At one point, Anna and Ray's family wiped away tears and looked in another direction as graphic pictures were shown from the murders. Ali Abulaban testifying about the day he killed them.
After you fired the first shot, you didn't decide to stop, correct?
I couldn't.
Ali Abulaban back on the witness stand, being cross-examined by Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brast, who is trying to prove the murders of Abulaban's estranged wife Anna and her friend Ray Barone were premeditated, a claim Abulaban has denied, saying it was a crime in the heat of passion.
You wanted him dead, and that's what you did, right?
No, I just lost control.
Brast says Abulaban aimed only for Ray's head, firing 1 shot at such close range there was soot on Ray's face. Then, instead of leaving, he stepped in front of Anna and racked the gun.
Anna put her hands up in the air and screamed, right? For mercy?
She was screaming because she was scared.
And you made the choice to fire another shot.
Brast said after shooting Anna in the head, Abulaban pushed her head into Ray's lap and placed bullets by her feet. Moves Abulaban denied, but he did agree that he never tried to perform CPR.
You never did a single thing to help her inside the apartment, correct?
I didn't think I was capable of it. I didn't know how to.
You did not do a single thing to help her, right?
No.
Also during cross-examination, Brast showed Abulaban's internet searches just days before the murders, including chopped bodies and decapitated heads. She also questioned him about another search for teen porn video, and that exchange turned tense.
You want to paint me as some kind of child molester? Show me. Show me. What you just said. I've never seen that in the discovery. I've been incarcerated 3 years. You never showed that to my team. Where did you get that?
Also today, the defense attorney asked for a mistrial, saying the prosecutor misrepresented a conversation that led to a tense outburst from Ali Abulaban. The judge denied that request. Closing arguments will take place tomorrow at the downtown courthouse. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Steve, thanks. Another pro-Palestinian protest on the UCLA campus this afternoon prompted a police response. Officials declared the new encampment an unlawful assembly. Protesters used tables, metal fences, plywood, and other materials to block off a portion of a main walkway on campus. Police in riot gear moved in around 12:30 and clashed with those protesters. It is unclear if anyone was arrested today. And this was all happening as university presidents, including the president from UCLA, testified on Capitol Hill about protest responses. We'll have more details on that at 6:30. A new law will allow doctors from Arizona to temporarily come to California and perform abortions on their Arizona patients. Governor Gavin Newsom signed that law into effect today. It's meant to circumvent Arizona's abortion law from 1864 that bans nearly all abortions in that state. Arizona state lawmakers repealed the law earlier this month, but the repeal does not take effect until later this year. The new California law will allow doctors to come here until November 30th.
A Southeast San Diego tow truck company says it's on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages from January 22nd flooding and wants the city to pay up. CBS 8's Abby Black is live in Logan Heights to share the scary moments from that morning and the damage that was left behind. Abby.
Carlo, Coastal Pride Towing is closed for the day, but there's incredible video that shows that it was underwater during the January 22nd storm. And you can see that the water line reached about 4 feet high. So all of those impounded cars that were inside the tow yard were damaged. The owner says that he's lost a lot of money and he's worried about a health hazard. When he'd opened the doors to those damaged cars, you could smell this stench. It smelled like mildew. The owner says that the city has not returned his request to pay up, so he's filed a lawsuit.
Oh my God, I'm stuck.
That's the voice of Mike Barca, the manager of Coastal Pride Towing, who recorded video of that terrifying morning on January 22nd during the historic storm.
Look what happened, people screaming for help.
Mike says that he climbed to the roof of the Logan Heights tow yard where water was rushing down the hill and overflowing from the Choice Creek flood channel 100 yards away.
Because the water kept just coming and coming and coming.
Mike's brother, Frank Barca, owns Coastal Pride Towing and was home recovering from an injury during the storm. When he got to his shop, he couldn't believe the damage.
The water was this kind of high.
More than 35 cars and trucks and 15 motorcycles were damaged.
It's still full of the water.
Frank says that since the cars were destroyed, the owners never picked them up, which allows him to take them to auction. Since they were destroyed, the cars are now going to a junkyard.
The space is money.
Frank says that he's waiting to hear from the city before junking the cars, which has left him with nearly no room to store additional impounded cars.
Everything got flooded.
The tow truck owner says that he's calculated the loss in storage fees alone to be more than $300,000.
Well, that's why we hire an attorney, because I saw the final, it was nobody listened to us.
Barca filed a claim against the city of San Diego and got no response. Last Friday, his attorney filed a lawsuit against the city for failure to clear the channel after the risks were publicly documented.
This loss was preventable, and the failure to do so was inexcusable.
Frank says that he's a small business owner and is tired of being ignored.
Get me something so I can resolve this.
We reached out to a spokesperson for a comment, but per usual during pending litigation, they say that they do not comment on pending litigation. The city has 30 days to respond to the lawsuit. Carlo.
Abby, we've covered so many stories related to those January 22nd floods. We know there's all sorts of assistance out there for small businesses. Did the tow company get any of that government assistance or any kind of help with flood recovery?
Well, the owner says that he did file for a small business administration loan, but he's had some trouble navigating through this red tape. But he says hopefully he will get a loan. But he says that still doesn't take away from the fact that he wants the city to be on the hook and be held accountable for the storm.
Incredible amount of destruction there. Abby Black reporting live for us. Thanks, Abby. A San Diego police investigation finds a former officer violated policy and that he filed a false report. Police say last August, Officer Anthony Hare's body camera, you see it here, recorded him and a woman he was taking to jail exchanging sexually suggestive comments. Just before Officer Hare turned off the camera and locked himself in the back seat with her. Hare claimed the door locked accidentally when he was checking on the woman's health. SDPD says Hare quit the force less than a month after the incident and refused to cooperate with their investigation. Go to CBS8.com for more on this investigation. Agents at the Otay Mesa border say they seized 6 tons of meth hidden inside more than 1,400 packages of squash.
The drugs confiscated from the commercial tractor trailer on Monday night have an estimated street value of $18 million. The drugs and vehicle were seized. The driver, who did have a border crossing card, was turned over to Homeland Security. Still ahead tonight, if your auto insurance rates have gone up, it could be because your car is telling on you.
Plus, a big honor for a local Filipina chef. Our new On the Menu series kicks off.
All right, we got the cloud cover that's out there. It's going to be in full force when it comes to our marine layer on repeat. Chance we could see some drizzle on Saturday. Also talking about cooler than usual temperatures with a warm up next week. Those details are ahead.
Thanks, Carlene. And up next, why the historic cruise ship that inspired the Love Boat isn't feeling the love in Northern California.